Okay, Tim, thanks for this video. This is just a quick reply to this video that you sent back in December. Looks pretty interesting, pretty cosmic, what you're pulling out of the calendar these days, I have to say. The Tzolkin is a conundrum, a cosmic conundrum. It is, as you said, the grand Rubik's Cube of the universe. And for those of you maybe looking in who don't know what I'm talking about when I say the Tzolkin, I'm talking about this, the 260-day sacred Tzolkin. Tzolkin means count of days. There are 260 days in this calendar. It starts here at one crocodile, or it can start at one monkey as well. There are two versions of it, so it could start either there, right in the center of it, or it can start up here. It depends on which discipline you follow, but they are both equally valid. But those of you looking in, 1 to 260 days, and the 260-day calendar is broken down into wave spells, or periods of 13 days. So this is the Maya numerical system: a dot for 1, 2 dots for 2, 3 dots for 3, 4 dots for 4, a bar for 5, a bar and a dot for 6, bar and 2 dots 7, etc. And a wave spell finishes at 13, which is 2 bars and 3 dots. And then it goes back to 1, down to 7 here, number 7, and then goes back down to 13 here, and then to 1. And there are 20 of these wave spells. There are 20 13-day periods in the Tzolkin. So that's what I'm talking about in this video. And Tim, like you in this video with this and all the other images that you showed me, I've been doing some work on it myself, and I don't know if you remember, but I did a canvas version of it. I think you saw that when you were last here a few years ago now. So I put the keys in this eventually after you showed me. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when I say the keys, you can watch this video, Tzolkin, a conversation with a Mayan timekeeper, on my channel. And those of you who fell for the when we're talking about the Mayan calendar, those of you that fell for the 2012 end of the world new age hype garbage, sucks to be you, quite frankly. So there you go. But anyway, this explains a bit more about the key system in the Tzolkin. And just to elaborate what I'm talking about, the calendar is 260 days long. 1 to 260. You can put the alphabet in this grid. You can put it in 10 times forward. So you would start here at 1, put A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. all the way down to the last square, and you get 10 alphabets running forwards. But because the calendar is symmetrical, you can also put it in backwards. So on the last square here, down at the bottom, the last square, you could put, the whole thing ends there with Z. That's the 10th alphabet ending there, W, X, Y, Z. And you can put it in backwards, so A, B, C, D, E, go backwards. And when you do that, you end up with the word keys. The word keys forms naturally when you do that. It is the only word, the only complete word that is formed when you put the alphabet into the Tzolkin forwards and backwards, and you get 10 versions of it running forwards and 10 versions of it running backwards. Sometimes it's broken up, K-E-Y-S, and you can see it there. So I did that, Tim, with this version just to see for myself what it looks like, and just so I could work with it. And then I thought, well, I'll change the format of the Tzolkin a little bit. Why not? Instead of what I did was, I thought instead of having the numbers 1 to 13 running down vertically, ending there and starting again at 1, I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll have each wave spell running across like this. So 1 there, 1 there, and instead of 2 there, I'd put it there. Instead of 3 there, put it there, etc. Running along all the way to 13, and then back to 1 here. And I did that in the monkey version of the Tzolkin. So I put one monkey up here, and obviously 13 crocodile, they swap. So this is what I got when I did that. So there's one monkey there, 2 road, 3 reed, 4 jaguar, 5 eagle, etc., 13 knight, and then it goes back to 1 seed, 13 wisdom. And the reason I like this, just on the initial format, is that you can see the order of the wave spells. You can reference them really quickly. So 1 monkey, 1 seed, 1 earth, etc. The wave spells go across this way, and just as happens in this version where 1 and 13 oppose each other, 1 crocodile is the opposite to 13 sun there. It's the same thing happens on this version. You get a 1 monkey here, 13 dog, 1 seed, 13 earth, 1 earth, 13 seed, 1 dog, 13 monkey, 1 knight, 13 flint, etc. So you can find any square and it will oppose with another one, basically, when you line it up. So I did that, and I thought, well, I'm going to put the keys in. Let's put the keys in from this version. But instead of the system of going down from A to the next, to B to C to D to E to F to G, etc., I thought, well, I'm going to change that a little bit. So what I did was I pulled them out as they are in this version of the Tzolkin, and I put them straight into this. So just to demonstrate what I mean by that, put them side by side. There's 2 road. What I did was I found the key, each of the keys. There's 2 road, it's a Y, it's a key, and I put it in there like that. And then the next one there is 3 transformer, 3 death. Found, it was on here, it was in this version, so I just put it straight in. Kept the number, kept the sign, and just put it in straight into it. And when you do that, you end up with this waveform happening, this kind of waveform, this kind of oscillation, maybe a frequency, maybe a sound wave. I don't know, because it made me think that maybe it's a sound wave, because I remember you said with this version, when you put the keys in, when they're formed naturally by putting the alphabet in, maybe the word keys that forms naturally is a key into consciousness. It's to do with the the whole calendar is a key into consciousness, and I kind of went with that, and I thought, yeah, I can dig that, and then I thought, well, maybe the word keys relates to the idea of like a musical keys, like a note, like sound waves, because of how it forms here with this waveform. Maybe it's to do with frequency, maybe it's to do with sound. So I thought, well, how can I verify that? Is there anything in the Mayan tradition, the Mayan cosmology, that is to do with waveform happening? And there is. Immediately what came to mind was the pyramid at Kukulkan at Chichen Itza. The waveform happens every equinox. The sun casts this waveform shadow, and it goes from the top down to this serpent head here. And obviously this is the pyramid of Kukulkan, the pyramid of Quetzalcoatl at Chichen Itza. Kukulkan and Quetzalcoatl are the same plumed serpent god. So you've got this serpent waveform happening here, and there is a waveform in the Tzolkin there, and I thought, well, maybe I'm onto something. But is there anything else that kind of makes me think that this idea of the waveform happening can be verified? So randomly, just by chance, I found that if you clap in front of the pyramid, obviously the serpent thing would form here. This guy's clapping. If you clap, you get this sound wave coming back at you, an echo, a wave coming back at you. So you would clap, and it would go ho. So you go ho. It rebounds off the pyramid in a kind of bird call. And people say it's just a coincidence, but when you consider that this is the pyramid of Kukulkan, or Quetzalcoatl. That's the plumed serpent. The plume, you know, the idea of it being plumed is obviously to do with flight and birds, etc. And you've got this bird call when you clap, but the serpent is also formed as well in this waveform. So you've got this idea of it being a waveform here running down to the serpent's head, the serpent in the plume serpent, but also when you clap you get another waveform coming back at you, ha, in the form of a sound wave. So this idea of a wave occurring is not that it's not that far-fetched when you consider that this is what's happening here when you put the keys in to this version of the Tzolkin. Get a waveform here, like a sound wave. Same thing happening here. Get the snake, the waveform happening there, and you also get the sound wave rebounding back at you when you clap in the form of a bird call. Ha! Look at this video for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. It is quite incredible. You know, I don't think this is a coincidence. The Maya encoded this pyramid to reflect, to have encoded in it the sound of the bird call when you clap, coming back at you, the sound wave, and that's the bit of the plume serpent, but also they encoded it to have the serpent bit in it as well. So yeah, pretty interesting when you consider that when you put the keys into this version, you get this sound wave, and you get this sound. You know, here's the wave as well. Just to make that a little bit clearer as to what I'm talking about in terms of the waveform. Anyway, Tim, that's what I've got for now. I have discovered a couple of other things to do with this format, which I think are quite interesting. I think I'll make another couple of videos about it. Got a few things to share with you about it. Thanks for making your reply. Thanks for making your video, which I'm replying to with this one. Good to hear from you. If you can make videos about this, that would be amazing. And the other images that you've shown me in that video that you sent to me. And say hello to your dogs and your family, your son, obviously. And hope to see you soon. Goodbye for now, Tim.